What's your Overwatch hot take?
Oh, I've got a shitload. Nerf the living fuck out of Orisa. She is broken right now. I'm sorry, her spear should not be able to straight up cancel almost any character's ult. Nerf Moira's attack range. She does not need to be literally like aimbotting me from halfway across the fucking map. Literally how she was in Overwatch 1 was totally fine. Buff Hanzo's health, buff Hanzo's ult kill power, buff Hanzo's ult speed, buff Soldier 76 health by 50, nerf Roadhog's healing mechanic, buff Genji because I know y'all just decided to nerf him for literally no reason, buff Sigma's ult size or kill power, one or the other, I don't care which. I've got more, but I don't have enough time.
So yeah, you heard all of those hot takes correctly, and let me tell you, they are some hot takes. I got that whole video from Zed the Undead on TikTok, so I'll make sure to leave that down below if you want to go check out the rest of his videos. I've been watching them, I've been keeping up with them as he's been releasing, and some things have gotten a little more clarified as like I go through them, but I think it more comes from a lack of understanding of what is and isn't going to be strong in the game, right? And I recorded a bunch of footage here, so we are going to step back and go through this footage and kind of debunk these hot takes and show why these takes are wrong and that it's more of a, as TikTok people like to call it, a skill issue than it is actually balancing problems. So let's get into it. The first part of this video that we have to cover is Orisa. He mentions that Orisa is extremely broken, needs to be gutted because the Javelin can ult cancel. I've also heard from other people that they dislike it because she has the ability to fortify, making her extremely hard to kill. I'm going to play two clips here that I recorded with my friends on just 1-on-2 and 1-on-1 for Orisa time to kill, and also the Javelin and how we can counterplay that. So as you can see in the clip that we're going to show you here, I play Reaper into Orisa Mercy and have the Orisa fortify while I try to kill her. She's being pocketed by the Mercy, makes things very hard to kill. Look at how much damage I did, virtually nothing, right? So what we're going to do now is turn back around and take a look at what the time to kill to Orisa is like when she doesn't have the pocket Mercy. So obviously Fortify eats up a lot of shots there, but with no pocket Mercy, much easier to deal with. What I'm trying to get at here is Orisa needs a healer just like all the other tanks in the game in order to stay alive. And keep in mind, this is just one Reaper shooting at her. If you have 2, even 3 people shooting at her, she's gonna die way faster, even through the Fortify, right? Orisa does not generate enough pressure to justify shooting her before shooting the supports or other DPSs. The entire counterplay to Orisa HP is to go around Orisa, kill the supports, kill the DPSs. Very unlikely that the Orisa is actually going to kill you in return, and if she does, the trade should be at least Orisa killing you in exchange for your team wiping the backline. The counterplay to Orisa is super simple. The next clip I want to show you is of the Javelin cancel, which is what the actual TikToker says in the video, that needs to be extremely gutted. Let's take a look at it. So what we're going to look at now is the Orisa Javelin, which Orisa Javelin cancels some ults and doesn't cancel others. We're going to look at that in this clip here, that when we have the Reaper try to ult, it's going to take the Javelin, it's going to cancel the Reaper ult, right? It's because it has no immunity, no invulnerability, nothing like that. However, when Zenyatta ults, it just pushes him off to the side. Nothing big there, nothing new there, which means it's going to come down to a game sense issue. If you're playing Zenyatta, you don't have to pay attention to when Orisa uses her Javelin. At most, you might lose one teammate if they were really unfortunately outside of your Transcendence. However, for the Reaper, on the other hand, you have to pay attention to the resources the enemy uses. If you see the Javelin get thrown by Orisa, that is your cue to go in. But if you haven't seen the Javelin used yet, You hold on to your ult, you hold on to it, you hold on to it, because you know as soon as you hit Q, you're going to take that javelin, and she's going to have to use it at the fight in some point in order to displace someone, do some damage, something like that. Use your brain when you play the game, pay attention to what your enemy has, what they've used, and then take that information and use that to time your ult correctly. If we go back and look at the clip, 6 seconds is the cooldown on that javelin. That is plenty of time to get your Blossom off. That is plenty of time to get a ton of other ults off, okay? Just pay attention to the cooldowns the enemy has used, play off of them. That's your counterplay to Orisa. Realistically, the character is probably one of the worst tanks in the game right now. She actually has a little bit too much counterplay with Symmetra and Zarya currently in, and then Reinhardt can also, you know, go and beat the shit out of her with his hammer. She can't do anything about it. There's a lot of ways to deal with Orisa. Honest to God, probably needs some changes or buffs in order to be truly effective. So the next series of clips that I have to show you are all around his statement on Moira, which is a hot take in the Overwatch community right now, as experienced players know that Moira is pretty bad, whereas a lot of people are playing Overwatch 2 for the first time think that she is absolutely broken. She can DPS, she can heal, she can do it all, you know? So I wanted to show some clips showing off initially that Moira was bad as a healer and actually desperately needs some buffs in order to support better for her team. Yes, I said healer, not support. I am on that side of the spectrum, but that's all right. That's a discussion for another time, okay? So the first clip that I have here is of Moira healing, okay? And what we're gonna look at in this clip, I'm going to mag dump with headshots Zarya. Kills pretty quick, kills in under 1 mag, 23 shots to be exact. Pretty fast time to kill. However, I didn't think the headshots were fairly accurate representation, because what soldier in any elo other than Masters or GM is actually going to hit all 23 headshots while the Zarya is being pocketed? I think absolutely fucking none. So what we're gonna look at instead is a mag dump of body shots with the Helix rockets into Zarya. Which, as you can see, takes a little bit longer to kill. Takes a little bit longer to kill than the headshots. Clearly, you're not hitting your criticals. However, even though this looks fairly slow, now let's go back and compare this to Ana and Baptiste, who are currently the 2 highest output healers in the game, are, you know, meta main healers, and put out a lot more healing than Moira does as a main healer. Let's look at Ana first. So while I'm shooting Zarya, the Ana can just util spam the hell out of her. I'm never cutting through the Zarya almost ever. We're now on mag 3, and then we gave up because I'm not going to continue mag dumping. I don't think I'm actually going to kill her here. Let's look at Baptiste now, who, while I'm mag dumping, Baptiste can just sit here. He can use his shift. He can use his right click. In an actual match, it uses invuln field too. I'm not going to worry about using that right now. Took about 3 mags and about 2 Helix rockets in order for that Baptiste to finally fail at keeping that Zarya up. This is some insane healing, right? So 3 mags plus for Ana, and you know, 3 mags plus like 3 rockets on Baptiste, compared to Moira, who took a mag and a half. Pretty bad healing for being a main healer. So healing wise, definitely needs some buffs, definitely needs some work there. The healing orb, it puts out a good bit, but her primary healing, the dot is not enough. It needs to be something more along the lines of Mercy or Ana, where it's a much more direct form of healing rather than this dot healing that she then has to go turn around and recharge. Now that we're on the topic of recharge, let's also go and look at why she needs the range, which by the way was not buffed going from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2. And why this is important that she can get damage off. So I've got 5 different clips of the Moira damage, Moira range I wanted to show off, all of which explain exactly why Moira's damage and range are both perfectly fine. However, I would like to say that because we did these in like a test environment and not really in an actual match, obviously there's a little bit of like flaw in how we did this. For the most part, it should hold up, but there's always situations that come up where this logic is faulty. Just wanted to explain that. So to start with this first clip here, we have a soldier versus Moira clip. The reason I wanted to show you a soldier versus Moira, which is basically just a 1v1 clip, is because I wanted to show that Moira is an aim check champion. I don't know why people think this, but all across this TikTok video, I was in comment arguments with people about how Moira does too much damage, that they could out 1v1 most of the people that they were going against, which is fine. If you're able to do that, awesome, good for you. I think you'll be able to get away with it all the way up till about platinum, and then that's when you're going to start entering the aim check land, where either the DPS is going to get aim checked and you kill them, or you are going to get DPS checked and they are going to kill you. Let's look at this example from the Soldier vs Moira here. Now, obviously, a couple of flaws with that. I didn't use my heal orb, which statistically gives more ult charge. It also gives me more of a fighting chance. However, even with that fighting chance, Soldier still would have out DPS'd me regardless, because I still did get the damage off from the damage orb without him using his healing. Lots of factors that go into basically just showing that, yeah, Moira's not necessarily the greatest for the situation. Let's go ahead and look at another one, though, where we actually did Bastion versus Moira. I assume you can see where this one's going. Same thing, test environment, lots of flaws with it. In general, though, would that happen in a game if Moira tried to take on Bastion? Yes, most likely. It's still an aim check champion. Final clip to explain that Moira damage in range is fine. Cassidy versus Moira, let's look at it. Same thing, all three clips, all test environment, obviously different situations in game, using these more as an exaggerated example at this point. Obviously, there's so many factors that go into it that Moira can get off a lot more damage. However, when it comes down to a straight 1v1 between Moira and a DPS hero, it is an aim check. This can still happen in game. If you get the very, very unfortunate feat of having the flanking DPS Moira on your team, she tries to take on the Cassidy. Cassidy can still one-shot Moira. The Soldier can still kill Moira. Bastion can still kill Moira. Reaper. Pretty much every DPS in the game, other than a 1-by charge Symmetra, will out DPS the Moira. It's not crazy DPS, it's an aim check. Quick editor's note, I forgot to mention the range of Moira and the whole argument against that, so I'm gonna throw this clip in for you, so there you guys go. The final clip that I wanted to show you, or the final two clips I wanted to show you of our Moira shenanigans, are both of the Moira ults for healing and damage. In general, I don't think it's a bad ultimate. I think when you're hitting a ton of targets all at once, you get a lot of value out of it. I do think it's one of the weaker support ultimates, but I don't think it's terrible at all. I'm still going to showcase this, though, just to see if people have opinions on Moira's kit as an entirety, to see what people think about, you know, basically everything on this champion.
Hello. Hey.
That one's confirmed.
Hello.
Now, 5 minutes of Moira, I don't know about you, but that's plenty of goddamn Moira for me. I already have problems with her in-game. So, what we're going to talk about instead is Zed's reference to buff Hanzo's health, buff Hanzo ult damage, and buff Hanzo ult speed. And we're going to debunk all of these, because these are buffs that I, like, buff, nerf, rework. These are changes that I'm not even going to try to see the other side for. Hanzo alone is a very good character, and for whatever reason, he turned around in one of his videos and admitted that Hanzo was, like, in his book, a top 5 DPS, so I don't know why you want to buff a top 5, but we're going to show you some examples on why this is just a terrible idea as a whole. So to start, I wanted to show you exactly why Hanzo's HP needs absolutely 0 health buff whatsoever. Let's take a look at this clip here real quick. I drew that arrow like 3 seconds late. I think he honestly might have stopped just to let me get the kill. He might have gotten it. That was a good arrow draw. That was very late. Let's look at another example of why Hanzo definitely needs these health buffs. Yeah, he definitely needs the buffs so that he can get a little bit tankier. Otherwise, he's just unplayable, right? Right? So, health debunked. Let's look at his ultimate. He wants to buff ultimate damage and ultimate speed, which I think is understandable if Hanzo's ultimate was used to kill, which is kind of like the Orisa Javelin thing. I think this is more sourcing from a lack of understanding the game as a whole, and more thinking that it's like shooty shooty bang bang Call of Duty, you know? So let's look at this clip that I recorded here that showcases a little bit of what Hanzo's ult would act like in a team fight. Notice in this clip, Soldier went off to the left, Genji went off to the right, because they're not coordinating which way they're going to go. This ultimate just split them down the middle. I actually even got some damage off on Hanzo, or on the Soldier, and then turned around and killed both of them. The ultimate is not meant to kill, it is meant to displace a team fight, right? It's not meant to get this 5-man wipe unless you pair it with like a Zarya grab, right? Let's look at another thing, another situation, one that could be even more valuable in a fight, where Soldier is being pocketed by Mercy. I ult, it separates both of them. Well, guess what? Now I can go, or my team can go and pick off the Mercy and Soldier is split, or they can go pick off the Soldier and Mercy is split. Disregard my just atrocious aim follow-up. Hanzo ulti is not meant for its killing power, it's meant for its displacement. So I'm not going to judge you on that one, because I'm assuming you're probably playing like a silver gold Hanzo right now and are trying to use that ultimate to get more kills rather than understanding the like actual value behind what it does. So I won't bash you too hard for the Hanzo stuff, but trust me when I say he absolutely does not need the buffs to anything that you stated. So his next statement is that Soldier needs also a 50 health increase, just like he wanted for Hanzo. I've put together a whole bunch of clips for, you know, this Soldier versus other DPS kind of thing. Look at them all across the screen. You tell me if he needs 50 HP or not.
Nerf Roadhog's healing mechanic.
Nerfed. So Genji is a bit of a hot take, given that he has almost like a 100% play rate in high elo lobbies, which is pretty impressive given any character's stature. The dude quite literally has the ability to do this. But even faster the better you get with him. On top of that, at the moment, he has his just one-shot combo, which I'll display out in the corner for you. And, you know, no character should be allowed to continuously get resets while fighting, like, people point blank. Literally, he just right-click dash, and it's a kill. And it resets your dash. So you can do that 4 times depending on how grouped up people are. People are in a Zarya ultimate, you can do that once and then you get your double dash. It's like, no, he needed the nerfs really bad. It was really, really bad for the state of the game. If you need more proof, go look at top 500 most played right now. Before the nerf, I'll try to find something to put up on screen, because at this point the nerf should have already gone through. Genji, he needs the nerfs. The last few clips that I want to show you for the day are of Sigma, because as Zed the Undead says, he needs more KP in his ult, and his ult needs to be bigger. He later clarified in a future video that he's okay with the ult size after a little bit of debate, but he still thinks the damage needs to be there. I kind of wanted to debunk this by showing a couple of clips where we took some tanks, we took them down to a relatively low health, and Sigma ulted them. The thing is these are tanks, right? And on top of that, Sigma can quite literally one-shot every squishy in the game with his ultimate. I can actually one-shot 2 squishies at the same time within that time frame if you hit all your shots, but let's go ahead and look at these clips. Why not?
company.
Oh, hello. Some seeds for
On top of that, a good Sigma can just do this, and you're dead. So, bada bing, bada boom, pow. Well, if you made it this far into the video, I really congratulate you, because even though I started off initially very proud with this video, I wasn't able to sit through the whole thing to keep editing it. I got really lazy and bored with it, and I never want to make a video like this again. No hate to Zed the Undead. He's gotten way too much flack for this. This is definitely a video of just me and my opinion, and what I think should be done with the game, just as Zed the Undead has his opinion. So please go send him love, not hate. He has some really funny videos. He has some really funny takes. Go check him out. Zed the Undead 1. Be sure to link him down below. Otherwise, I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, hit a like and leave a comment down below on what you'd like to see next, what I can do better to make you guys enjoy the content more. Otherwise, that's it for you guys. Twitch.tv/TJHyde every night. Come join. All right, boys. Have a great rest of your day.